Hello and welcome to this presentation on Qualtrics reports creation. In this presentation, we will go through stages on how to create reports in Qualtrics, taking functionalities that are available in Qualtrics. And also at the end of the presentation, we would show you how to share your presentation with stakeholders, PDF report, and sharing your report online. At the end of the presentation, we intend to have have created a report which almost looks similar to the one that you're actually seeing here on the screen. And all these data visualizations were created in Qualtrics. So hopefully at the end of the presentation, you'll also be able to create similar reports using the same data visualizations. To help us go through this process, I created a simple survey which was entitled Survey Training Outcomes, and I generated some simple results to help me through this process of creating these reports. So all this information, all the results that you see in this presentation are fictitious results. So the first thing that you want to do to create your report is to go under reports. And already here open is this simple survey report that I was actually showing you that we said we'll hope to create at the end of this presentation. So to create a new report, you go under File and then go on Create. You will then give your report a name. In this case, my report is called New Buildings. And you hit on Create. It'll give you a clean slate report, which you then start to add elements to your report. In this case, we are creating more of an executive summary that you can share with your stakeholders or partners that you're working on a project. And it will include an overview, the problem, highlights of the report, and some data visualization. So the first thing that we want to do here is to insert a text area. So if to write in this text area, you will double click in here and you will type in title of your report. You want to use some of these functionalities here. So this one is a title. And the next thing is you would want to insert another text area. And then you double click again this text area. This will be executive report. And you want this to be heading 1. Again, you come here, you want to add another text area. In this text area, that's where we are giving an overview of what the report is about. Just to save time, I will just copy what I already have here. I will double click in here. So I will copy and paste this. Again, I will change this to heading 1. And now that we have this overview, we also want to add another text area where we'll share the problem of the study. In this case, again, I will come here and copy just to save time, and then I will again paste. I will do again the same. Add this to header and just make sure this body. And then the next thing is we want to add another text area where we'll give the highlights of the report. Again, in terms of time, I will use our already created text. Now again, here it's also a header 1. And then the next thing is that we want to do is now to start to add in our data visualization. So the first thing that we want to add in is to add in a question that looked at gender distribution of our participants. So we'll add this question, and from this you actually see it gives us some visualization that it thinks would be more appropriate. But in our case, we probably want to change the design of this data visualization, and we want to have a data table. And we have this data table. On this data table, we would want to add in the totals and percentages of how much male and female participated in this report. So we bring in this total, and then if you come here, you enable the percentages of the respondents. And then if you go here at the top, you go where it says styles, you can actually change this to make the table look more compact so it doesn't utilize so much space. And now we have our visualization, and we'll probably want to change this so that we give the table name a better name. So we'll call this gender, and we can probably change this to 12. Now that we have our first data visualization, the next thing is we will create our next visualization, which we look at the question that looked at the level of education for each of our participants, and it provides us with this visualization, which looks good, and we will keep this one, and we change the question that is on the visualization and add a meaningful name, which is level of education. And we may just want to change this to compact. Now we are adding another text area where we can like give a summary of the next data visualization that we are adding. So here in this case again, I will just utilize my already prepared report so that I save time. I'll just copy this, and then I'll come back to my report, add that text. Now the next thing is I'm going to add in the data visualization for this summary that I've just provided on top. And the question was asking how many of our respondents ate from surrounding areas. And then it provides us with this data visualization. Somehow I want to change this to a pie chart. So I come under settings and go to visualization, and I choose a pie chart. And under here, a pie chart, you have some other options to change your visualization. So here, before we do anything, I'm going to change this, and then I will change that to 12 and center that, and I will also make that bold. So let's say you want to change the color of your visualization. You can come here on the legend and just say, let's say here I want to use a gold color. I will do that, and then let's say I need to have my legend on the right hand side. I'll go on legend position and choose right, and it is moved to the right hand side. And then also, let's say we want to see what percentage of participants said yes and what said no. You would choose here percentage, and it will give you this nice presentation where we have your percentage inside and the number of respondents to your question. And then the next thing we're going to do is we are going to add in another text area that describes most ranking on their most favorite food outlets. So we're going to choose question number 7 that looked at that, and it will provide us with this. However, I probably don't want, we want the results from the analysis, so we choose table results, and it has this, which looks good. And then if we double click here, and then we now have our next data visualization. And then the next one that we're going to look at, we want to see what percentage of the people's money or income goes to food. And we are going to add in that question, which is question number 8. And we're going to choose all responses. And it provides us with this statistics, which look good. And we are going to maintain this statistic table, and we just are going to rename this table to budget distribution by percent, and just change that to 12 and make that bold. And then again, I'll just go back again and just change this to compact. That's my preference. You can work with your preference. We can now add another text area where we want also to give some summary of results. In this case, I will again copy from my report and paste that under here, and then I am going to add another question that looked at these buildings. So the next question that was asked in this study was which building the faculty members prefer on campus. And to answer that question, we present here the results which are from question number 9, and it provides us with this data visualization, and we can again edit this to give us a better name. So here you see my title name was building preference by gender. So in this case, we wanted to see by gender which building did male, or which building did female present that they like most, or male described as they like most. So here already we only have the number of buildings, we only have buildings being presented. So we can do a further breakout of these results by adding a breakout on gender, and it will split these buildings by gender. So here you now see male, female, those who are non-binary, and those who prefer not to respond. Just because you see our numbers are kind of like very small, we can decide to add in some values to see how much per each of these bar represent. So you come here under the axis and you can add show values, and it will give you some nice values on top of the bars. And then here you also have your key underneath here, and like we said the previous time, you can actually decide to change your legend, whether you want it at the bottom or you want it by the side. For mine, I'll just keep it at the bottom. And then the next thing we'll do here, we'll just add another text area, and again I will just copy this from my already created report, and in this last part I will show you how you can present your qualitative results, because we asked some open-ended questions, and so we'll just show you how you can use some to present your qualitative reports. So here the first thing is we then asked, from these buildings that you highlight that you like most, what is it that you like about this building? So we will present that, our qualitative results that we collated from that question. And so the first thing that it will show you is this qualitative results, those that they just responded saying they like. And you can change this and give it a better name, and then you can edit your name, and then just like throughout the report, just bold it, change that to 12. And then again, we will want to utilize word cloud just to see which of the outcomes or from the qualitative report, which were the most reported components that make the building favorable. So again, you on set, we'll use the same question and then go to here, and then under visualization you can use word. You choose this word cloud and it will give you this visualization, and then you can change this heading. So now that you can have changed the title of your word cloud, one of the other things that you can do is to change this color of your word cloud, where you go here where it says best color, and then you can choose a color that probably you would want. You can use purple, but for I will use a blue. That's my preferred color. And now you have your word cloud here. And the next thing is I'll add a text area where I'll just highlight that this is the end of the report. So I will say end of report. I'll center this here. And now that you have created this report, now we want to do the final touches to your report. One of the things that you can do is to go here on configure and then title, and then change that to 24, and then I want my headers to be size 12, and then I want my body font to be 10, and then I want my title to bold, and I want my header to bold. And then if I save that, it will actually change everything that is within the report. And yes, it looks good. And then I will just change this just to increase the font for this one. I just wanted to make it 12. Okay, now that we have this part of the report, we now want to header and footer to our report. So you come here, you say insert page header, and you give your report a running name. So fine, for me, mine is called final report. I'm not going to change the position of the page number, or am I going to put a log? So I'll just save that, and then I'll again go to the same part, insert, and say insert footer, and then I want my footer to be centered. So I will come here and say, and then nothing else here that I'm going to change. And yes, it looks good here. And probably you will come here and you see that this table has been broken, and you just need it to be on the next page. So what you can do is come here, you can insert a page break here, so that you can just move this part of your report of your text to the next page. So this is just kind of like tidying up your report so that it looks good. And Yes, so you have your end of report. You now have this report, just going through, just seeing if there's anything that probably you would want to change. And yes, probably this, I want to change this to be centered. So I'll move that to the center. And now you have your full report, which almost looks like the one that we showed at the start of the presentation. Now that your report is completed, you now want to share your report, and you've got three options that you can actually share your report through. You can actually download a PDF and send an email, or print it and share with your other stakeholders or partners that you're working with, or you can decide to share it online through creating a link. So if you go here and say public report is public, it's available for public viewing, it'll give you, once you hit save, it'll give you, it'll generate a link that you can actually share with your report. And let's say in this case you want it only people that have a password to view your report. You will then provide a password that you share with the people who will be able to review this report. So in this case, we say save, and it will generate this link. So when you copy this link and you come here, you send it to someone, and someone puts that link that you have sent them, it'll open this page and it'll ask them for a password, and they will put the password that you have shared with them, and they will be able to see the report. And this is the report that they will see online, and it looks exactly like the one that we just created, and they are able to run through the report and see what the current results from the data that have been collected look like. And that's a good way of sharing your report. And the last one of the three methods that you can use is to schedule an email, where you just write to a list. You have a list of people that you want to send to, but I'm not going to focus so much on that in this presentation. So this is how you create a report in Qualtrics and share it with your stakeholders. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to get in touch, and I'll be able to help you through this process.